Welcome to FightingIllini.com. I'm Ryan Baker with head basketball coach John Groce. And coach, of course, we'd rather be talking about the Illini moving on in postseason play, but it didn't end the way you drew it up with that 79-58 loss at Alabama in the first round of the NIT. You've had a few days to digest that disappointing defeat and reflect. Can you look at the season as a whole and pinpoint some of the positives you took away from your team, finishing 19-14?
Yeah, a little bit of both. Obviously, we want to finish strong. We always talk about finishing strong. We've been able to do that historically. I think when I look at it, Bake, for us, we've got to play with our identity at our core, which is the toughness and togetherness that we've talked about from day one when we arrived here in March 2012. It hasn't changed. And the last two games, not really just the last one, but the last two games, I just didn't feel like we hit that standard or that threshold of competitive toughness and togetherness that we need to play well. And obviously, my wife reminds me, hey, John, every year when it ends, unless you win the national championship,
somebody's disappointed.
Yeah, it's a day or two or three sure. Of where you feel that. And she's right. She's been with me the entire time for the most part. But it has given me a chance to kind of look past those two games a little bit and, as you said, look at the body of work over 33 games. And, I certainly don't want to take anything away from our players, especially Nana and our seniors, the way those kids battled through a lot of different curveballs that were thrown their way throughout the season. I've said, and it's been well documented, probably as many curveballs collectively as we had total in my first 6 years. So they did a good job of that. The next man up philosophy. You don't beat Baylor, Maryland, Purdue, Michigan State unless you're playing with some toughness and togetherness and you have a little grit to you. I mean, you just don't do that. So I think we showed that for the bulk of the year, but for whatever reason, we didn't have that it.
At the very end.
Yeah, at the very end. And that's what we've got to capture again. I think the way you capture that is by doing that every day.